on to the next section. This is rapid fire takedowns, the quickest way to get the man to the floor and finish the fight. So far we've looked at lots and lots of different combinations striking. Now we're going to look at what happens when we get to this grapple and we need to take the person down to the floor. There's lots of different throws. What we're looking at is high percentage finishes. These throws were used by special forces, military fighting, to get the job done quickly and get the person to the floor. So it's different from, say, judo throws that require lots of balance breaking and fine skills. The idea was to get the person to the floor as quickly as possible, disengage, finish, and get away. So we're going to have a look at a handful of takedowns, which again, anybody with a little bit of training can practice and perfect. Now, most of these takedowns are based around using some sort of pain compliance to help bring the person to the floor. So we're not just going to rely on balance breaking skills alone. We're going to be applying some sort of strike, nerve pressure point to help get that person down. So let's have a look at the first one. This is a head and chin takedown. It's one of the quickest ways to take somebody down from standing. We're going to manipulate the head and the neck, and normally if you manipulate the head, the body will follow. So from here we're just going to break it down first of all and have a look at it. I'm going to come in and once again anchor the back of the head. We've done this quite a lot today when we were striking. From this position I'm going to step across on the angle and get the heel of my hand on the side of the jaw. Then from here I can rotate the head in a small circle, beginning to manipulate and bring the person down to the floor. Again, we'll look at this. I'll anchor the back of the head, step off to a side angle, put my hand on the chin and rotate the head in a small circle, bringing the man to the floor. The idea behind this technique, it puts a lot of pressure on the vertebrae and the neck. So the person has got to follow it down because they're in danger of damaging the neck. So the body follows. So it can be done in two fashions. It can be done as a slow controlling maneuver where I may take him down under control to a seated position. So if I wanted to finish with a choke or a strangle, we could do that. It can be more severe if we turn the head and chin quickly, which rotates the neck and brings the person down to the floor a lot more rapidly. Now, another good advantage with this technique is even if the man is strong in the chin, and we've done this earlier on, if Jake pushed against my chin, he's strong this way. As soon as I turn the head, suddenly that strength is gone and we can take somebody down quite rapidly. So if we wanted to set this up, we may set it up behind some strikes. I might start off and use the ear clap that we've done earlier on, knee to groin, and then take him down to the floor rapidly from that position. We could use the ear clap and the eye gouge. It would set this up again and take him down to the floor. Or we could use the headbutt straight in and then twist and take the floor. So everything that we've done so far, striking wise, can be combined to make the takedown. Again, from close range, striking the groin with that top fist brings his head down and allows me to take him down. Now also, we don't have to just use the chin to take the person down. We can use the same principle and grab the ears, which we were dealing with earlier on, or the short hair on the side of the head. These things will all give you immediate control, and they're painful. So again, from here, I can use that small circle and bring him down to the floor by the ears. Or the short hair on the side of the head. Twist in and take him down. All these can be built up behind the same stripes that we've used earlier on. Slapping the ears, headbutt, and then take it down rapidly to the floor. Grabbing the short hair, headbutt, knee, and taking it down. And once we get him down there, we're going to make sure we finish it off. We take him down by the hair. From this position now, we're going to smash the head down into the floor. Okay? Drive down to make the finish. Then the knee can come down if we need to take it a step further. We take him down by the ears. Same thing, step in. And again, we can drive the head into the floor and drop the knee down for your finish. Off the chin, take him down. We can let that go and drop the knee down onto the temple, or finish with the foot strike. Look at that again. Take him down, disengage, drop the knee to the temple, or stamp and step away. So one more, speed, and down. Alright, this next takedown comes from the back again, so it can start from the rear or we can manipulate our way around there. First of all, we'll have a look at the takedown itself. So from this position, I'm coming up. My fingers will go into the eyes, closing down and then pulling the person back to the floor rapidly. Now again, because we're attacking one of those soft spots on the body we looked at earlier on, then we can get control straight away. This is different to, say, pulling somebody around by the shoulders, for instance. They're going to fight back a lot more. As soon as those fingers go into the eye sockets and close down, then we can break their balance and take them to the floor rapidly. Where then, if we want to finish it, we can do so. Coming from the front, we may move around and spin the man, get to this position, and then into the hole. Drive him down to the floor, and then finish the technique. Okay, so from the front, maybe if the guy's come in and he's grabbed and pushed me, then I can just move him to the side, spin the body, and come in and take that technique. Once again, don't forget, at the back we've got that knee to the coccyx if we need to bring him down the tailbone, and then drive him onto the floor. Push the head to one side, and that exposes the carotid artery for the finish, or the hammer fist to the jaw. But we're back to those main man-stopping targets again to finish the fight. So we go again, the hands on, and I'm moving around, which gives me the room to come in and take him to the floor. That's right. Alright, now we're going to look at a technique that involves grabbing the groin and taking the man down from there. Once again, as I said, we're trying to work to weak spots on the body that immediately will break somebody's balance through pain, and then it's easier to take them on down to the floor. Otherwise, we're going to end up in this wrestling match all the time, where we're fighting strength to strength, which we don't want to do. So first of all, we just break the technique down, and then we'll have a look at it and see how we can put it into play. From this angle, I've come around, so I'm behind. My leg is blocking. Well, I come to the front and grab hold of the groin. In this case now, I'm going to lift the man and take him down to the floor by the groin. It's a fast takedown, anybody can do it, and it doesn't require you to break balance. So let's say I've moved inside this man and got in close here, broke his balance. I'm going to grab hold, lift, twist, and carry on. Twist the groin,
here, drop the knee down to control him and finish and come back out again. Now if we look at this, we can defend, say, against a right-handed swing or a punch to the head, which I block on here and control. Then step in, elbow, lift, down, squeeze, rip, and step back if we need to follow it up. Step in, we can claw, we can elbow, step behind, grab the groin, lift, down, squeeze, twist, pull back, stomp to finish. This is another technique that attacks the groin. We're going to approach from the back to do this one. So first of all, let's look at it. We come round the back. I've jammed his body with my arm and my hand comes through the legs to grab hold of the groin. From this position now, I'm dumping him forward and down onto his face as I rip back on the groin. So if we want to get a bigger person down to the floor, we can hang on there. I might go down with him and drive down to the floor, controlling him at this point to get over to a better position and finish it with some bigger strikes. How do we get to this position? If we're in grappling in some shape or form, I might be able to make my way around the back. Here I keep my head low, come through and grab hold and drive it down to the floor. Still maintaining that hold on the groin. Then I can move up to a higher position. If I need to finish this, we're coming back down into those big strikes. Again, grappling, and I get to his back here. He's bent over, which is making it difficult for me to attack his head. So I'm coming under and attacking the groin and driving him down. Then we can come up and look to follow down again with those big strikes. Or we're going to look at a single leg takedown. Now this single leg can be done from different situations, but basically we're going to try and take this person's balance away by attacking their lead leg. The first situation we're going to look at is if a man is throwing punches at you and you're under fire, and then you're going to dive in and take the leg away. Okay, so we'll just look at this line. I'll just slow that down slightly. As I cover up against these punches, I know that I can't stand up with this guy, he's too strong. So I'm going to come down underneath and attack the leg. Now in my mind's eye, this is different to any sort of sporting version of this takedown. I'm looking to drive my shoulder straight through his kneecap. I want to break the knee on the way down. Now again, this is from that military background that they're going to take that person down and break that leg so they're not going to get up again and fight. From this position, nearest target is the groin. My nearest weapon is the head. Straight out the middle, bang, straight away. Then I'm up and driving through and hitting the groin until he's incapacitated and I get up and walk away. We look at this again. Cover up and protect myself. I come underneath, drive through, block his ankle, drive my shoulder through his kneecap, taking him to the floor. Straight in for the headbutt, driving down multiple rapid fire strikes to the groin, stepping up, we can stamp and disengage. Alright, this is another example of the single leg, but this is closer. So now we're engaged in close range combat. The man may have grabbed me and he's punching me. I'm again under fire. So I'm going to dive in and take that leg. I'm going to take the flesh on the inside of the leg, squeeze and lift them, drive them to the floor. I get to this position, straight down the middle with the stomp. And we can lift him and kick with the tailbone. If we look at this again, I'm covering up, trying to limit the damage and drive in. Grab the leg, squeeze the flesh on the inside of the thigh, lift the leg and drive them to the floor. I'm looking to step in. If I can grab both of his legs, I stamp down the middle. If I can lift him, using my toe, I'll drive that into the coccyx. Or if the legs are down, I'm going to step across and drop my shin into the groin, which sets me up for a bigger finish on the end. In slowly. In, right through. Take him down to the floor. Immediately stamp down. Lift him, kick. His legs are down, step across and knee drop. Then we're in a position to follow down if we need to do so. One time, speed. This next technique is called an inner hock takedown. This is where I'm going to entangle his leg, tripping him over and put him onto his back. It's again a high percentage takedown and can be used in close quarter grappling. So let's look at the technique itself and then we'll see how we can set it up. So from inside grappling range, I'm looking to attack his leg. If he stands square onto me, I can attack either leg. I'm going to use my lead foot and come in and step in so that my hip bone has hit his groin. Then I'm going to hook and hock him down onto the floor so he lands onto his back. So again, we're in close. I step in and let my hip bone crash into the groin, which already buckles his balance. And then I hook and pop the leg and take him down to the floor. From a grapple situation, how can we set this up? From here, I'm going to bring my thumb across and push it into his jugular notch. This pulls him away from me and opens him up. You see this movement? He's in close. My hand rests on his collarbone. My thumb pushes the jugular notch. It opens him up, unbalances him, and gives me the entry to hop him down and onto the floor. We're in. Come across, push in and drive him back. So the weight now is on his heels. This is where he's unbalanced. I step in, crash into the groin with my hip bone and hop him and take him away. As soon as he's down, we're going straight in and attacking. Hitting the groin, disengaging and getting away. Again. Nice, nice, nice. This technique is called an outer hock. So now we're going to attack the outside of the leg and sweep the person down. The way to get this is to try and get this leg forward. So initially when we clash, if this man is square on, by me pulling him forward, he wants to take a step to get his balance back. And that's what I'm looking for. Then I'm going to step up just beyond him and clip the outside of his knee with my leg, taking him to the floor. Once again, it's quite an easy takedown to perform, a high percentage takedown as well, where you can get somebody down to the floor quite rapidly. So, I take a quarter of a step back, tugging him, so he steps to get his balance back. As soon as I see this, I step up to the outside of his foot, get his weight over onto this leg. Now I know he's vulnerable to that little swing, taking him down to the floor. So get again slowly. Step back and get him to step. Step up beyond him as you twist the shoulders and get his weight onto this foot. Once I've gone beyond him, he's already beginning to fall, then I clip the back of his knee with my heel taken down. Now again, we need to set this up, and there's a few ways we can do this. First of all, from this grapple situation, if I pull strongly on the back of his head, he's inclined to pull his head back up. He wants to get free. And I'm waiting for this. As his head comes up, I'm going to headbutt it straight away. Twist him, step up, and hop that knee. Then I'm in position again to drop the knee to the neck, strike the groin to finish. So let's look at that setup again. As I pull down on his head, I know he wants to come back up. As soon as he comes up, you drive your head into his face. Twist and break his balance. Step beyond him, and then click the leg away. Immediately drop the knee in before you finish. Another way we can set this up is with an attack to the airway. So from this clinch, I'm going to come up and grip and pinch the windpipe. As I do this, I'm pushing him over to this side, where once more his weight on this leg. Now I can step up and hop him away. Now from here I can go back to the knee drop, or I can carry on with the choke using that pinch grip. See it again, we're in, drive him up. Get his balance going back, step beyond him, and all away. From here, I'm going to drive down, straight arm for the choke, or drop back for the knee to finish. So this is the outer hop. His legs forward, we attack him from the outside through. The inner hop, we attacked from the inside through. And that's the difference between these two techniques. Alright, this next takedown is again from the back. Now either we're behind them to start off with, or we've got our way behind there. Now remember, we're trying to look at the most simple ways to take people to the floor. So we touched on this earlier on with one of the attacks to the lower gates and extremities, so we'll put this together now into a takedown. Once again, I've moved my way behind. At the moment, we'll just look at that angle. I've got myself to this position. Now I can see the back of the knee hop. I'm going to grab hold of him, whether it be by his jacket, if that's the case, his hair, or one of the face grabs that we've done. And then I'm going to stamp through the back of his knee, bringing him to the floor. Really quick way to take somebody down. From here, we're in good position for the knee drops, or driving down for the web hand into the throat. Once again, against a taller person, this is a good way of taking their balance away and bringing them down. At the same time, we're driving that heel into the back of the knee hop here. We've got a cluster of nerves, and it will involuntarily bend the knee anyway. And from this position, drive it down. As soon as he hits the floor, we're in for the big knee drop, or one of those big strikes with the palm heel or web hand that we've done earlier on. So again, let's see how we can get to that. This man tries and bars my way and stops me from moving. We're back into this little drag around the corners. Slow this down slightly here, my hand comes on top, and this one pulls him off balance. As soon as he's off balance, I'm ready to kick that knee through, and now we can follow down the finish. Off balance here. Now if the guy's that much bigger, remember we've got that strike to the kidneys. We can pull the hair, and we can drop into the floor. Now that I've got the hair, we can pull the head up and strike it back down, and then finish. Now from behind itself, if I came from the back here, then I can kick in and bring the man down really rapidly. So it's very difficult for that person to maintain their balance. So if they were in the midst of attacking somebody else and you entered as a third party here, the danger of coming up to somebody and say, "Oh, what are you doing there, mate?" He'll turn around and hit you on the chin. Then if we can rapidly take him down, you can control his fall. You don't always have to pull him down hard, but we can just take him down and control him. Or if we need to follow up, we can do that. So if the person's that much bigger than you, this is a way to take them down. We've just been able to practice kicking out the back of the leg. Okay, in training you never do it hard because you damage the knee. So although it's done at speed, it's controlled, and down he goes straight away. Very difficult, and then you're in for your finishes. Alright, now with any takedown, you'll find that sometimes the person will hang on to you. And this is what I refer to as a drowning man's grip. It's where he's fearful of what's going to happen and he latches onto you and he won't let go. So you find that although you take him down, you'll go down with him. And it's very difficult to avoid this happening. Now if we're talking about reality, we may be applying this on an icy or wet pavement. It may be a beer-soaked dance floor. It might be a urinal toilet where the floor is slippery. So we're not going to have perfect setting like these mats. So we've got to be aware if we go down to the floor how to finish these things rapidly. So what we're looking at now from the rapid takedown is the rapid finish. Now our priority is to finish it and get back up. It's not to lie down on the floor looking for some type of lock or submission or to roll around. It's in and out. So remember once again, the military perspective was take the person down and then take them out and get away. And whatever needs to be done, you do. So we're going to take this same principle. So we're going to have a look at a couple of these takedowns and let's look at what will happen if you went to the floor with that person. Okay? Alright, the first one we're going to deal with is this inner hock. Now if the man holds on to me and I hock him away, we end up sort of crashing down onto the floor. Now, if I can get this top position, this is where I want to be. This is going to be a great position for finishing with strikes. So, from this top position, as soon as I hit the floor, remember my priority is to get up. So I'm going to start striking straight away. So, let's just look at this again and we'll move into the strikes. As soon as I hit the floor and going down, my first strike already coming is that headbutt straight down into the face. I'm already gaining control. Now I'm looking to finish with these elbow shots as quickly as possible and up and out from there. So your power, if I'm driving down into the mat next to Jake, this is the power he is going to feel driving through his head. And you're going to hit them in that rapid chaining fashion until he finishes. If he reaches up to try and push me, then stick your thumb straight in the eyes. Don't engage in anything else. That will break it up. Smash the head to the floor and back to those rapid fire elbows again. And then we're up and we're out. If on the way out you happen to drop a knee in there, that's fine, and you're away. But the idea is that I'm continuing the fighting that I'm doing stood up. I haven't changed my plan. I'm still going for those man-stopping techniques, the rapid fire techniques, without getting involved in any type of grappling. We look at this again, I'm down, hitting the floor. I know I'm going down there, so straight away I'm driven down. If he grabs me around the body, then you start using what's available. This time's the T. If I turn his head to the side, I can drive my chin through his eye socket. If I squeeze this, then already we're causing a lot of damage. Then I'm back up and back to the techniques. If I sit up, use the heel of your hand. Remember, don't get involved in punching. This man may still be fighting and bridging his hips up and trying to do all these sorts of things. So he needs to make sure that we're continually firing through. Even if he's covering up, the power of these palm heels and elbows will just smash his own hands into his face. So we're still going to get a reaction from it. But punching, you end up hurting your own hands. So we need to blast through here and make sure we finish the man. We're going to look at the outer leg hock. And again, what will happen if the man hangs on? So as I hop the leg away, if the man holds me, I tend to crash down to the floor with him in this position once more. Now, if he's not holding me strong enough, then I'm going to immediately get back up, okay? my priority isn't to go down to the floor and start trying to hold him. My job is to get up. So if I don't feel he's holding me strong enough, I'm going to spring back to my feet as quickly as I can. Drive up and then look to finish with your feet if that's what you need to do. So we don't want to get involved in grappling. So really the motto is learn to fight on the floor, but don't go to the floor to fight. So I'm down here. He's not gripped me in any shape or form. I can feel I can get back up. So I'm going to spring up immediately, disengage, and start striking down using my feet to get out. Now this time if he holds on to me, I may be forced to go to a ground position because I've got no choice. But from here, I step up, I hock him away, and we crash to the floor again. I'm going to sit through here into this scarf position. I'm going to splay my legs like a hurdle, hold myself in place. This arm's going to come around and just grip my trousers. Now from here I'm squeezing him tight and I'm starting to work here. Palm heels rapidly hitting the face or driving the thumb into the eye. Already the fight's over and you're going to get back up and disengage quickly. As soon as it's done, then you're on your way out, you're up and you're away. You're not going to hang around on the floor. Things that can happen from here, from your point of view. First of all, this man may bring his hand up because he's trying to defend this. So push it away and lock it underneath your leg. Now it's out of the way, you can go back to this gross motor skill of striking until the fight is over. You've got nothing else to worry about from there. Okay? Sometimes he may try and claw you with this, but that always wins the day straight away. That's always going to beat him clawing my face. So I'm not going to start trying to do anything with this hand because I'm losing my posture, my balance, and I'm going to end up being taken over. So as soon as he claws my face, I go for that big percentage finisher, thumb through the eye, and now I'm back to locking him up and back to where I was previously. So again, it's all about getting in there fast, hitting, striking, finishing, and getting back up onto my feet, rather than making it a long, drawn-out battle on the floor. Now we look at this technique, that rear groin scoop, where we took the man flat down onto his belly. We're going to look at attacks from behind now. So as I take him down and drive him down to the floor, if I can disengage and he falls to the floor and I'm free, then we go back to some of the techniques we looked at earlier on. That stamp down into the sciatic nerve, right in the centre of the thigh. We'll stop him from getting up if he was thinking about doing that. So as soon as I disengage, it's down for the finish. Okay? Alternatively, between the shoulder blades with your heel of your foot. Now you're almost going to do this as if you were stepping over a large puddle, rather than bringing your foot up and down. It takes too long. So I'm thinking of stepping over that large puddle and driving the heel between the shoulder blades. Remember, this takes the air out of the person, stops them from shouting out. So if you've disengaged, your feet will stamp in using the heel, sciatic nerve, or take the step over and drive the heel between the shoulder blades. From this position, dropping my knees into the kidneys as a single shot or a couple of double shots will again finish the man without having to engage on the floor with him. So those are the big percentage finishes. If he was scrabbling or looking for something that might be a weapon on the floor, then you make sure that you stamp down and finish it. Breaking the fingers, kicking whatever it is away from him. So you need to be aware enough to strike to any of those areas of the body, whether it be the sciatic, the thoracic vertebrae, right between the shoulder blades, the kidneys, or the extremities, whether it be the fingers or indeed the ankles, so that they won't get up again and fight you. This is particularly important against maybe more than one opponent. Now, if we've ended up in this position where I've taken him down to the floor and I'm lying in this position and he's still fighting and wanting to hang on, once again you start to work from here. Remember, I'm still holding the groin and seizing it, so I will do that. Anywhere I can start biting, I will get immediate control of him. Looking to get to this back position. Now from here, your same techniques will come into play. If he comes up on his all fours position, you hit him with the heel hand strike that we practiced earlier on from standing. Same technique, it can be done on the floor, same target area. Now because of his weight's on his hands, when I hit his head across this way, it's going to knock him down and knock him out from that position. Okay, look at that again. So as he comes up, brace your weight on this hand and strike across the jawline. See, it brings his head down, but also it brings it nicely into cranking up there if you're going to put some pressure on his neck. Okay? If his head stays down, no problem. Depends what you're going to do. If he's got hair there, you start smashing the face into the floor. Okay? If that happens to be a puddle of water and his face goes in it, sooner or later he'll want to come up for air, and then we'll choke him and finish him from there. So these are the type of techniques that people were using. This is hand-to-hand combat. This is not martial arts. It's not sport. These are techniques to finish somebody. So whether that be mud on the floor, whether that be a puddle of water, then you neutralise that and finish the techniques from here. All fours position again. If he brings up on his hands, you've got the air slap. Okay, nothing changes, and this is the beauty of this system. It's not going to give you thousands of different techniques when you hit the floor. You're going to work behind the same techniques that you've done stood up, and they work just as effectively. So when he comes up to all fours, bang, we can hit the ears as we've done before. We can claw the eyes, we can rip the nose, we can separate the mouth, we can twist the head, you can hit the temple. Everything's the same. So if you know these techniques stood up, you can apply them straight away to the floor, no different. So those are good percentage finishers from the person being belly down on the floor. Alright, we're just back down to the floor again. I've just put Tom onto his back and we've just looked at sitting round into this position. Now also we can come across, so we're across the body in this position, lying across here. Now again, remember our priority is to finish. So we're going to look at your strikes that are available. Once again, you'll find that they're familiar. Remember, these got to be learned in the shortest space of time for military personnel, so they were looking to do the same things. So whether it was standing or floor, it didn't make any difference. So from here, this arm will come out and you're going to drop your elbow down into the jaw, into the temple. And you just keep driving and battering those strikes down until you felt the person is no longer holding you. Once you feel that, then you're up off the floor. You're not going to stay down there any longer than you need to do so. Drive these strikes through and then up we come. Disengage. If we need to follow up, stamp down or a kick, we can do so. Sometimes if you're being held and a man's hugging the body, you may not immediately be able to disengage. So again, you can start your elbow work and you can look at those gouging techniques, looking at the pressure points on the head that we worked through today. Once we've got those into play and the arms begin to open up, we can then maybe start smashing the knees into the face and bringing the knee up onto the neck to bring you up before you finish. So once we've gouged into these areas and opened him up and we feel room, I push his arm down, hold his head and drive these knee shots into his face. And then I bring the knee up to put pressure on the neck or the windpipe and then look to finish with the groin strike. From here, once again, this man has got a really tight sort of death grip on you here and you can't get your arms free, then back to that chin gouge through the eye, driving it in there, or biting into the face, or multiple headbutts until his grip begins to loosen. Then you come back to the elbows, the hammer fist, and the knee onto the neck and back to the groin strike. So you're working behind this small core of techniques, the palm heels, the elbows, the hammer fist, looking to hit the same target areas, whether it be the chin, the temples, attacking the eyes, attacking the throat. But again, we're looking at those man-stopping techniques that will get you up out of the floor as quickly as possible. So if this person is a larger, more dangerous attacker and you're on the floor with them, your priority is to get out there as quickly as possible. And the longer I stay down there, the bigger percentage that it may be that he's going to turn the tables on me. Plus, I don't know, maybe he's got a weapon there. He might be reaching in his pocket, he might be looking for that weapon, so I need to disengage this as quickly as possible. So, when we're in these positions, that fast barrage of strikes is going to open him up. And while he's thinking about this, he can't possibly counter-attack me. It's only when you stop and start trying to tie up arms or do something that he can come back and strike. Or he might be reaching down into that pocket for that knife, and I need to stop that and get into some finishing technique straight away rather than looking to lock him up. So the faster you can finish this, the better. So the rapid fire takedowns, we're going to get the man down quickly to the floor. When we get him there, then we're going to make sure he stays there by applying this fast barrage of strikes to those vital points.